Linewize student alert right now, actually.
Do you want to speak about it?
Let me see.
Not personal details, of course.
Yeah, let me see what it is. And looking at it live, yeah, it is a student self-harm situation, and I'm already seeing that our social workers are taking care of the situation. So that took, I don't know, 20 seconds from the time that the student typed that in into now we have social workers at the school engaging with that student right now.
It's just unbelievable when you start quantifying that number of students that we've helped.
Every day we help kids remove barriers, and those barriers are vast, are becoming more and more complex in the complex world that we live in. And so you get some instant gratification knowing that when you identify a kid in need, you know what to do, and they get that just-in-time support, and they're able to get back to learning.
It was emotional because you think this is a kid's life that was saved that evening because of this program, and so it's just amazing to think that we can provide that support now.
Yeah, this is definitely a lifesaver for some.
I'm Hoke Wilcox. I'm the Executive Director of IT Operations. We're a large metro school district, approximately 70 miles from end to end, so from Birmingham Falls to Palmetto Elementary. We're a beautifully diverse district. We have farms, we have urban, we have suburban, and it keeps us looking at making sure that we're addressing the needs of all those different populations into helping people. You know, looking at technology and safety and where we are right now in the world, it's becoming more and more important. Technology is ubiquitous, it's pervasive, it's in every piece of what we do right now. And having the ability to see and give transparency to what's happening in the classroom and with students is so important.
Flanny Richards-Boyles, and I am the Director for Technology Support. It's important for us not only in school, but out of school as well too. And if we're providing students with all this technology, again, being one-to-one, we also realized that we had a responsibility to ensure that students were safe while using this.
So my name is Chris Matthews, and I am the Assistant Superintendent for Student Services. And I have the distinct pleasure of leading all of our student support services. In Fulton County Schools, safety is one of our biggest priorities. And in the high-tech world that we live in, it's important that we have technology-based tools that are useful, they're integrated, they're timely, and they are accessible to our staff and our students and our families so that we can protect students. And so when we think about a unified, well-stitched together technology and safety plan, they go hand in hand. So when you think about monitoring roughly 85,000 students or thereabouts, it's daunting. And so working through the daunting part and arriving at what really is best for students was kind of the crux of those conversations that we had, right?
I'm Dr. Joe Phillips, and I'm the Chief of Strategy and Technology for Fulton County Schools. And so for our overall student safety and security strategy, we have to look at the whole day of the student and everything that they come into contact with and every environment that they're in as a student. And then how our students actually do their learning is actually super important to make sure that we have safety layers in place there today. When we talk about technology overall, the risk and the threat that exists out on the internet for our students is tremendous. So Fulton County is an amazing community to live in, especially when it comes to digital education, instructional technology, and that type of thing. We're a hub for technology. And so as we have started to push out the Linewize suite of products, we have had happier and happier community meetings, happier parents that are coming to us and saying, okay, I feel safe.
You know, the key piece that made us go with Linewize for filtering was really the integrated solution. We were looking for something that could help us manage the classroom, but could also provide the safety and security aspects. And so Linewize was able to provide us with a suite of tools that could do that. And so it's an integrated solution, it's one implementation, and it's a seamless piece for us. So having one vendor to work with was very important. You know, looking at the difference that Content Aware has made for us, again, it's one of those needs that the district had, and it's one of those problems that's been around with filtering forever, where those thumbnail images can get past a filtering product but still cause a problem for a school. And so it's helping with that problem.
A lot of filters only hone in on the groups or the criterias when it comes to types of sites, or we're going to block AI, or we're going to block gaming, and that. And Linewize has those groups as well, but we can very easily get in and really dig down or drill down into specific sites that we need to block, or even other categories that we can create ourselves or partner with Linewize to create new categories. And then the other thing that's really great about Linewize is how filtering fits in with the rest of the products in the product lineup. And so when we talk about filtering with Monitor, they work hand in hand. One of the things that's really, really important is we're in the business of prevention. We can't just be in the business of set it and forget it. We have to actively monitor the activity that's happening on our network and on our devices. And actually in Georgia, that's state law now. The challenge with filtering alone is you're setting these filters, but kids are crafty and clever, and they work to get around filters constantly. What Monitor does is it isn't a client actually on the student's machine, and so it doesn't matter what they're using to get around filtering. If it comes to self-harm, harm to others, or inappropriate content and that type of thing, Monitor is stepping in actively and sending us alerts so that we can focus more on the actions we need to take and the preventative measures that we can put in place, rather than trying to find things that are just way too much for us to keep a handle on.
My name is Brandon Gaskins. I'm the Chief Academic Officer in Fulton County Schools. When we are monitoring students' devices, we want to give parents peace of mind. We're just not monitoring to monitor. We're not monitoring to get kids in trouble, because kids do stupid things on their devices, but we're really trying to monitor to make sure that they're safe and that we can communicate any time of day, over holidays, over the weekend, if there is something that we need to intervene and make a parent aware of. We received an email from a parent who was so thankful that we intervened. Her daughter was suicidal, and we got an alert from Linewize. Our social worker was able to call the parent, intervene. The parent sent us a beautiful email that said, "We have a perfect life. We have a huge house. She has everything that she needs, but she was depressed and we did not know it." And so she was on her device, and there were some key words that Linewize picked up. It communicated those words to us. We were able to intervene in the mom's words just in time to provide some support to the family as well as the student.
The peace of mind that it brings is that it's awake when we're asleep. So we have a cadre of great professionals, social workers, psychologists, counselors, and other personnel who look out for students during the day. But when we go home at some point in the day and we go to sleep, Linewize is still awake. And so as they're utilizing technology and they're accessing the world through their technology, it's important that we have 24/7 monitoring to keep them safe.
Our teacher of the year for Fulton, actually was the teacher of the year for the state of Georgia, pulled me alongside one day because she's one of our Vanguard teachers, and she said, "You need to listen to me. I'm very good at classroom management, and my classroom management skills cannot handle what I'm dealing with right now." And so she needed to be able to control that digital environment in a way that we were not providing her that type of access. And so it was a real kind of realization for me hearing that from a teacher, because my concern was I didn't want to give something that would take the focus away from instruction. And what she was saying was, I can focus more on instruction if you give me this tool.
My wife is one of our 8th grade teachers at one of our middle schools. She teaches English language. She tells me constantly she doesn't know how she would teach without Classwize. As opposed to us trying to play whack-a-mole with the overall general filter, we're able to do the things that we need to do to keep the students safe, but they're able to do the filtering that actually helps with classroom management instead of us having to do the filtering that helps with classroom management. What we have now is teachers that feel trusted and they feel like they have agency and the ability to actually control their classroom and have the autonomy to teach the way that they feel they need to teach without us being in the way. We're there to support and help them. We're not there to stop them from teaching.
My name is Nicolesia James, and I'm the director of the IT Program Management Office, and I'm also a parent of 2 middle schoolers in Fulton County. I found the parenting app to be useful in managing my children's devices because they have more devices than I can even recall. So the custodial app has given me visibility into what's happening on the student devices. I can see what my children are searching. So I go on the custodial app and I say, okay, I see searches for, these particular subjects, or I can see, what they opened up in the school, so I can follow up with them, and it's a conversation starter for me and them about their day.
And so giving parents a role in safety monitoring, I think, spoke loudly to it is a collaborative village type of approach. And so we had some questions about whether parents were really going to support this tool, but once they saw that they had a role in the actual monitoring of their students and helping us ensure all of our students are safe, it was a real win for them, a win for us, and a win for the entire Fulton community.
Linewize has really just kind of filled a gap for us that is now a part of our culture. We depend on it now as something that is just how we do business here in our district.
The support we've received from the Linewize team has been amazing. Extremely responsive, both by cell phone, email, I think maybe smoke signal. We haven't tried that yet, but it's been extremely responsive. And not only have they been responsive, they've been helpful, and they've come alongside us and helped us to solve solutions. And so getting to that point and having the knowledge that you have someone standing behind you like that really allows us to do so much. It's tremendous, right? It's such a huge thing for the safety and security of our students. Again, visibility, right? We didn't have that visibility as to what was happening. And so you've got a company now that's coming alongside us and making sure we're aware when those things pop up, filtering some of those things, categorizing them for us, and then pushing them out to our team and get the students the help that they need. So, tremendous.
It's just nice to know that we have, it's small but big protections in place to help our kids.
The power of this tool, the lives it can save, the help you can provide, the kids that you can identify and change the trajectory of their education, their lives, it becomes a no-brainer.